Greetings. Well, the Arcturian Council. Well, pleased to connect with you. Hello. It is lovely to be here with you and to have this opportunity to chat.
Great.
Yes, what would you like to speak with us about?
I have wrote in some notes. So, okay, first of all, my question would be, what planet does my soul come from?
Well, your soul comes from Source, but when you entered into this universe, you entered in through the gate of Arcturus, where you then went straight to the 12th dimension. And you spent time as a part of the Archangel Gabriel collective. That is not a singular being, it is a collective of angelic souls. And that is how it's possible for you to have originated there and be also on Earth now, because we're all connected, we're all one, and there's no real hierarchy of souls. That's all in the earthly imagination. So you descend from the 12th dimension through all the non-physical dimensions before coming into physical reality in the 7th dimension, and you chose to incarnate for the first time in Sirius as a dolphin on Sirius A in the oceans there as a dolphin. That was your first experience of physicality and form. And from there, you bounced around the galaxy quite a bit, going from star system to star system, trying on a lot of different uniforms or meat suits, if you will, and sometimes incarnating as orbs or light beings, more energy-bodied beings, but a lot of times wanting to have that very physical experience in a body to explore a particular place and time and theme, and then you found yourself wanting to try Earth, because Earth became available to incarnate on for sentient life forms. And you did, and you tried on all the different packagings that are there as well: plant, animal, mineral, and humanoid. And now here you are in the human form that you are, with all this experience of having been all across the universe to get to where you are today, to experience the raising up of the consciousness of the entire universe while in a physical human body. And isn't that exciting?
It is. That's why I was always connected with water. I was a swimmer back then. I was always connected also with dolphins for that's why
Yes,
there's
indeed. It's a good
interest.
reminder to you of where you come from, and also of the importance of those things, the importance of connecting to the higher consciousness that is on the planet right now. And the dolphins and whales certainly are great representatives of that higher consciousness that is taking you into the fifth dimensional consciousness.
Yeah, I think years ago I was started listening to some meditations. Then every time I was listening to dolphins, I would start crying because it felt the resonance with them. Totally get it. Yeah.
It's a beautiful existence, and hard for some people to imagine living in the water, but it certainly is an experience you've had many, many times, not just in that one lifetime as a dolphin on Sirius A, but in many different lifetimes you've experienced yourself as an aquatic being. There are lots of different aquatic beings throughout the galaxy in variety of forms, and you have so many swimming in your oceans on Earth to remind you of that.
Next question should be so connected to this. The first question is, what's my purpose on coming here at this time?
Well, you wanted to experience what it would be like to go into density and then experience ascension. You wanted to awaken in this lifetime. You wanted to be of service in this lifetime. You wanted to have all of the different third dimensional experiences that a person can have one last time before you ascend your consciousness in the fifth. And you also want to help others to make that leap with you. So you want to be a part of something very big and a group, a shared experience of ascension. And that's why you're doing it with the collective you're a part of there on earth. And you're still getting to decide with your free will how you want to contribute, how you want to help. But really, you do so by helping yourself, by tuning into what you're feeling and what you're thinking and what you're believing, and accessing the best of all of that and putting out the best feeling vibration that you can.
So it's not like a specific purpose, it's just experiencing this metric with basically the whole variety of beingness.
Yes, yes. It's all about experience. It's all about recognizing the self as source at some point, and then integrating that into the physical experience as much as you can. So, really, to boil it down to really simple terms, it's about choosing love and continuing to choose love. And that's what is the most fulfilling experience that you have in a physical body, is to recognize that we are all one, that there's no separation, that we are all source and we are all love, and then to go about living accordingly in spite of the fact that there will be challenges. There will be times when all sorts of things will come up in your life to give you the opportunity to choose love over fear.
Lovely. Next, it's what it's like the what does my soul have as a supernatural gift in that sense, and that I get to express. I do have specific abilities that I came here to to choose and to work with them.
Well, a big part of the next phase of your journey and humanity's journey is going to be extraterrestrial contact, which will give you new opportunities there on Earth that you hadn't had before. In other words, you'll be able to be of service in brand new ways because you'll be dealing with another sentient life form walking amongst you, influencing you, and all of the fears that people have within them of extraterrestrials will be coming up, and there'll be a need for more people who are open to that experience, like yourself, to be the go between, to be the teacher and the healer that you truly are, that deep inside of you. You have all of those gifts and abilities already, and they come out as needed. They come out when the circumstance arises for them that makes them the most appropriate thing for you to do. And so you have that to look forward to and to ready yourself for by continuing to work on yourself and let go of what you need to so that you can be in the highest vibrational state possible when that happens.
It's the same as, do we manifest our lives, or is it like
Yes,
everything is predestined, and then
certain
it's
things aren't.
we, example?
Well, where you're going to be born and what parents and
Mhm.
what neighborhood and what socioeconomic status and all of that, those are predetermined things that put you on a timeline, on a path in your life that you're bound to take, you see. And then once you start to reach a certain age, you have more freedom. Your parents give you more responsibility, more choices are in front of you, and those choices become more and more significant in terms of the direction of your life. So then you really do start to exercise that free will, but the soul, or the bigger part of you, obviously wants to have certain experiences and signed up for those experiences by incarnating into that body. But because most people don't know themselves as their soul, they don't think of themselves as their soul. They think of their agenda as being separate from the soul's agenda. And anytime you're moving in a direction that doesn't serve you, that's only going to lead to bad experiences, the way your soul lets you know that you're headed in the, we don't want to say wrong direction, but in an unhappy direction, or a direction that's only going to lead to more of what you don't want, you'll get that internal signal as the emotion or the feeling of heaviness in the body. You'll get signs from the universe that this is not the path for you to take right now, that you're using your free will in a way that's more harmful to yourself and or others. And so you do have the free will to go in that direction anyway. And your soul's agenda is also for you to enjoy your life experience, not just to have all of the experiences it wants to have through you, but also knowing that you are, as the human aspect of your soul, going to feel the most fulfilled by going in the path of what it was originally intended for that lifetime.
Is if I don't know what do I want, how can I find, for example, how can I find that thing that can give me more joy to follow through? How can I
You
find this thing?
you get that by going within and feeling for it in your body. So going within means meditating, it means being introspective, it means checking in with your chakras to see how you're feeling, moving your consciousness from your head down into your heart and feeling for what your heart's desire is, waiting for an impulse or an inspired thought or idea to come to you. And sometimes that takes time. Sometimes it doesn't come in the time frame that you would like it to come in, but it takes more time for you to get to that place. And that's okay. That's something for you then to accept as part of the journey of this life for you, and to have the experience of patience, trust, and faith are also experiences that you signed up for in this lifetime.
Let me repeat the last question. Last part.
All right. Repeat it. Is that what you said?
Yes, yeah.
Well, as you continue on in your journey as a soul, you are going to find that your soul has set out to have certain experiences in a life. And you don't know what they are intellectually with your mind. Your mind can't necessarily figure it all out by looking outside of itself and saying, well, should I do this or should I do that? My parents did this, my cousins do that, and so on. And you're looking and saying, how do I decide for myself what is right? And what the answer to that always is not to do more mental gymnastics and mental processing, but instead to go within yourself and feel around inside of yourself and be patient, be trusting, develop faith that what is right for you to do next according to what you want for your life and what your soul wants to experience through you, that will all come together in a very tangible way as you place your awareness on your heart, on your breathing, on your chakras, and you just close your eyes and go within. And that means meditating, and that means feeling your feelings, and that means patiently waiting for an impulse to arise within you or an inspired idea to fall into your head and become conscious to you of what the next best step is for you to take action wise, that's going to bring both your desires and your soul's desires together in one harmonious path for you in life.
Mm. Okay, lovely. So the next question would be, uh, because I always felt like I do not belong, and this also let's say, I'm not saying that it didn't allow me, but anyways, let's say that it didn't allow me to experience love as I wanted to experience. So how can I feel like I belong to this human, human meet, let's say? How can I use this to create meaningful relationships, either friendships or in more?
Well, every time you stay true to yourself, every time you be your most authentic self, and you do the things that you feel inspired to do. You do follow that inner guidance that you have that's saying, move towards this. This seems like it's interesting. I want to explore this now. And you listen to that inner guidance and move in those directions while being yourself and being true to yourself, even while you're doing the thing you're doing. Then what happens is because of law of attraction and because of the vibration you're offering, you come into contact with those who are doing the exact same thing. They're also being true to themselves. They're also following their bliss, and they're also finding the expression of that in the physical through action. And sometimes you just bump right into that person while you're both following your joy. And that's all you really are meant to do. And you let the universe, you let your guides, you let the fairies and all the helpers around bring you together with those, with synchronicity, with serendipity, with perfect divine timing. And you don't have to worry about it with your head. You don't have to construct it all up here in your brain and say, well, I need to figure this out. I need to understand where these people are and how I'm going to meet them and what groups I have to join or what internet website I need to be on. Instead, you just listen to, and sometimes it is through an internet website, like Daniel and his wife met on Facebook. So sometimes the universe does orchestrate it in that way. And sometimes being online is your place of comfort and joy for the moment. And you want to go there and explore the different thoughts and ideas that people are putting out there. But there's also the very physical component of getting out into the world and taking the actions you want to take, whether that's being in nature or being in a cafe or being in a movie theater or a place where they perform plays, that type of theater, whatever it is that grabs you and gets your attention about the physical reality, there is a way always for you to pursue it. There is always a way to participate in life on your own terms and in your own timing. And that's something that when you listen to those spontaneous impulses that come to you from within, you just find yourself getting up, grabbing your keys, and moving in a particular direction.
Okay. So,
So
you just said,
the key here is you don't have to figure it all out and see all the steps in advance before you can take a step and move in the direction of your greatest fulfillment.
okay. It's interesting that you mentioned the fairies. Because I always had the feeling of I'm connected to the fairies and also with the magic in that sense. So can you give me more information about that?
Well, they exist in that fifth dimensional frequency that you're all moving towards. And so they're sort of beckoning you into the fifth dimension to join them. And in the meantime, they have a closeness to you vibrationally where it's easy for you to sense their joy and sense their laughter and the ways in which they are inspiring you. And that's one of the reasons why those stories that children grow up with are often referred to as fairy tales, because the fairies are like the muses in Greek mythology, where they're the ones who inspire the writer, inspire the person creating the song or the play or whatever they're creating.
Okay. So I don't know. I always felt like something like this was drive me building a connection with them. So it
Yes.
was more like a question of what, like, did I was a fairy in one sense,
Oh,
or
yes.
was it like,
Oh, of course. Yes. You've had that experience as well. You can, if you can imagine an experience that you've had in some lifetime, then you've had it for sure. And the fairy experience on Earth, depending on which past you're talking about, because there's multiple pasts, but they definitely have been on Earth and have interacted with humans as well at one time before they decided to ascend out of the third dimension.
will we also, when we ascend also, will we be able to see the fairies as well? Yes.
Yes, you will.
along with other creatures that do exist.
All kinds, yes.
Yeah. Um, get two more questions, I guess. One of them will be like one time I was also learning how to channel, and the reason why I'm asking is I also felt the connection with the face as well. That's why I said, and they always come through. So should I continue with this
Yes.
idea? And what's the best way of using this gift? Um,
Well, sharing it with others, using it for yourself, of course, to feel more connected, to feel more of that joy, and to get those inspired ideas from them. But then also to put it out there what it is that you're getting from them in terms of writing or posting or video, some way that you share what it is you're getting from the fairy realm, because there are so many people channeling at this time, and most of them are channeling ETs and ascended masters, archangels, those sorts of beings. But there's fewer people channeling the fairies, and there's a lot of people who are interested in fairies, and they're not just for children, they are for adults as well, and they're very much a part of this journey of yours to the fifth dimension. As we said, they sort of represent where you're going in terms of your spiritual evolution, what you're becoming, as you'll have a much more playful and fun existence once you complete the shift to 5D.
um, so basically, it's the essentially just start somewhere, and then this will prepare me to the actions.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Start with continuing the feeling of the connection and exploring it and accessing and recording it in some way so that you can go back and look at it or listen to it and decide for yourself then what you want to do with it. But certainly if you find people in your life, or you even find those people online in some group who are interested in fairies, then those would be the ideal people to share these messages from the fairies with.
Lovely. So the next question, what do I need to know right now? And then asking this question, it will help me also ask more if we have time. So what do I need to know right now so I can best support myself in that sense too? Because I know that taking action when it feels like it, because I was in different country last year and then it felt like I needed a change and everything just clicked. And then I moved countries and everything was like perfect. And it's still perfect, but I always want to expand more. So what's the next thing? What's the next, yeah, what do I need to know for me to expand more?
A big part of your lives right now is to be focused on your self care, on caring for yourselves physically, emotionally, psychologically. You need to take time for yourselves there on earth. You need to be focusing on what your body is asking for and on the energies that are present at this time that you can work with, as it is also a great time for you and all others who are awake to focus on creation and co creation. What it is you want to create for yourself, for the others in your life, your community, and for the world as a whole. Because those of you who know what you know about energy and manifestation and law of attraction and so on, you are there to put that knowledge into action, to use it and work with the energies that are present, run those energies through you, which is a form of channeling, but everything really is channeling because you're just walking around as this giant receptor to something that's either of a lower frequency or of a higher frequency. And as you set that intention and say, I want to bring in more of what's of a higher frequency, and you do so, those energies then want to be utilized by you and others to bring together the various creations and projects that you and others are focusing on.
Okay. Um,
So we know that's very broad and very general, but you also have to be, again, allowing yourself to receive inspiration from within, but certainly getting a little bit more specific, we would say sitting with that intention of receiving through an opening in the crown of your head all that you can download that is higher vibrational, higher frequency, and then seeking to use those energies and specifically to come together with others and see how you can be a part of their project or they can be a part of your project, or you can come together and decide at the same time that you want to start working on some creation that will bring something that is representative of those high vibrational energies to the collective so that people can experience them in a unique way. And that's why you have as many different expressions of art as you do there on earth at this time, because there are many different ways in which energies can be expressed. And for some people, they're clothing designers. For some people, they design automobiles or homes. So it's not always something that looks like it's an art form, but every creation really is.
Sometimes I'm not very religious, but sometimes I feel like the not the Christian faith in general, but like sometimes like do they like is the apocalypse right? Is we are all doomed to die in that sense in a in a in this apocalypse way? And I'm like, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like we are here to experience pain and we are doing here to experience. And
It's a
why
choice, of course. That book of Revelations and other stories that you will hear even within the New Age are choices that you have for potential futures. And those predictions and those whole ideas of apocalyptic outcomes and futures for humankind, they are meant to get you to decide that you don't want them, that you actually want the peaceful, joyous ascension filled with ease and fun and creativity. And so being shown the opposite of what you want can be exactly what you need to spur on that creativity within the self and within the imagination to say, well, what's a better way we could do this? What's a better future for humanity? And how do we start moving towards that now? And it can be daunting to think of all the tasks physically that you would have to perform in order to create a better world for everyone. And so, what you have to realize is that the better world is already created in that way. And you're vibrating into that world and into that reality when you make choices that represent for you what that better earth experience looks and feels like. So that's why, again, you pay more attention to what's going on inside of you and what resonates and what frequency you're at so that you're moving towards that version of planet Earth that you and so many other people want to inhabit, rather than what people have been told for thousands of years is the destiny, the inescapable future of humankind, which of course there cannot be just one future, because then what would free will be for? How would you be exercising your free will and having it have any sort of effect on reality unless you are able to use your free will to choose what future you experience?
So I understand. So it's like as humanity we get to choose, or can one person, like for example, do I choose to to um do I choose one reality? For example, if for example one of my friends might choose apocalypse, and then they will experience that, while I will get to experience something else, or we will have one common reality, and then we go through each of us at the same time.
There's multiple realities, multiple versions of Earth, and multiple versions of every person and every human collective. And that's how you get to choose for yourself and still be on a timeline where there are 8 billion other souls who are also making that choice for themselves. And you don't have to convert all of them. You don't have to convince all of the ones that are on the planet with you in this version of reality right now. You just have to trust that wherever you go, there's going to be a collective around you that reflects to you the work you've done on yourself and the choices that you've made to exist in a higher vibrational way.
Okay, so it's, for example, in that sense, because I was thinking about yesterday, whatever happens in the outer world, if I feel safe, even if a war breaks down, if I feel safe, then I will be
Right,
inclined to take the actions to always be safe. For
right.
example, that's the
Exactly. And sometimes a person needs to take certain actions like locking their door at night to feel safe so that they can then be in the vibration where they're acknowledging that safety is also an option for them to feel regardless of circumstances. But if you're too busy thinking about, well, is it smart for me to lock my door? Is it the more spiritual thing where I'm trusting and showing faith not to lock my door? Just lock your door and then ask yourself, well, then what is it inside of me that I'm still processing and dealing with that led to that decision to lock my door? What is it that I still need to work on or release? What is it that I'm uh, experiencing from my past that's led me to the belief that it's a world filled with people who might try to harm me or steal my stuff?
Mhm. So it's always working on your method basically. Throughout your
Yes,
life, you have to always work.
you always do, because you are the creator of all of this, and it's your projection of reality that you experience at all times. Every detail is painstakingly chosen by you at night while you're asleep to determine what's going to unfold for you in the next waking hours that you experience.
Lovely.
It is.
Yeah. Even it's this couple of months now, I've seen so much stuff happening. When I started trusting myself, when I started saying, okay, just go with the flow, just and let yourself catch you, let the universe catch you, whatever you consider. And just it will catch you when you just trust.
Yes.
So I just let myself trust and then just go with the flow, and then things started unfolding. Before then I got ideas and I'm following through. The only thing I need to work on is my how's it called my the fear of, for example, what if I succeed? Because
Yes.
I have this idea, I have these ideas that I want to, or some channeling, or I want to create some affirmations. At the same time, I don't. It's not like it's I don't know if it feels like the fear of success or it feels like a procrastination, because I want to do these things and I have these actions, but I don't follow through with actions.
All right. So we have to end on this note. This will be the
Yeah,
last
for sure.
answer we give you. When the fear comes up, you're meant to feel it and process it and just sit with it and breathe your way through it. And as you do it, as you face it, that's how you really face your fear, is by feeling it. You let it go in that moment, and then you get to replace it with what you actually choose to experience, something like confidence or joy or stability. Very good.
Mhm.
We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Hello.
Hello, lovely.
Thanks.
You,
Great.
re- you, re- you remember those sounds, yes? Or you are
Yes,
consciously?
I do.